Want to animate a flying bird in just 5 easy frames? In this Procreate Dreams tutorial, I'll show you exactly how to create smooth, realistic bird animations without drawing hundreds of frames. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete flying bird loop ready to share. Let's dive in. First, let's set up our project correctly. Open Procreate Dreams and tap the plus icon in the top right corner for a new project. I'm using 1920 by 1080 resolution. That's HD quality, perfect for sharing. Set your frame rate to 7 frames per second. You might have to set that up in a custom selection. This will give us a smooth animation while keeping the file size manageable. Now set your timeline duration to 10 seconds. That's all we need, and probably we'll need to shorten that later on. This will give us one wing flap cycle that we can loop forever. Now let's draw our bird. I'm keeping this super simple with basic shapes. Trust me, simple shapes animate way better than detailed drawings. Start with an oval for the body, about this size. Add a circle for the head. See how I overlap them slightly? Now a small triangle for the beak pointing right. Add a tiny circle for the eye, and then the tail feathers. This is our base bird that stays the same across all 5 frames. Here's the secret to realistic bird flight, the 5-frame wing cycle. Frame 1 is wings fully up, the highest position. Click on the plus and create a new track above our body. Draw 2 curved lines extending from the body upward like this. Notice how I'm making them slightly bent. Real bird wings aren't straight, they have natural curves. I add the little curve details on the ends of the wings. This is your starting position. See how the wings form a V shape above the bird. Rename this layer that you just created to Wings Frame 1. So in frame 2, wings are going to be moving down. So take your base bird layer and just with your pen stretch it out. Click on draw and it'll create a new frame for wings frame 2. So you want to position these wings at about a 45-degree angle like this. Here's the key. The curve direction changes. Now they curve downwards as the bird pushes against the air. See the difference? Frame 1 curves up and frame 2 curves down. This creates that realistic flapping motion. Add your feather details again, and we're done with that one. Don't forget to rename your wings frame number 2. Frame 3 is the power stroke. The wings will be fully down. This is where the bird pushes hardest against the air to lift itself. Click on the drawing mode and we'll create a new frame for you to draw on. Draw the wings extending below the body line, curving downward even more dramatically. See how much curve I'm adding? That's the bird really pushing. The wingtip should almost touch below the body. This is your most dramatic frame. In the end, don't forget to rename this to Wing Frame 3. So frame number 4 is the recovery. The wings are starting to come back up. Here's a time-saving trick. You can actually reuse frame 2 again, but in this case, I'm just going to draw it again. The position is going to be almost identical, just slightly higher. Adjust the curve to be a bit less dramatic than frame 2. This creates the upward motion as the bird prepares for the next flap. See how we're building a smooth cycle? Down, 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 now back up. Add the curve details to keep it consistent, and rename it to Wings Frame 4. Frame 5 is our transition frame back to frame 1. The wings are almost at the top position, but not quite. This creates smooth looping when we repeat the cycle. Draw the wings at about 80% of the way up, not as high as frame number 1, but close. The curve should be gentle, preparing for that full upward position. Add your details. Now here's the magic. When this loops back to frame number 1, the motion will be seamless. Let's test it. Now let's bring this bird to life with color. First, we need to set up our color palette. I'm going with a vibrant yellow with orange accents. These colors will really pop against our sky background. Tap the color picker and let me show you my exact colors. For the body, I'm using this rich yellow that is hex code FBBF24. For the wingtips and accents, I'm using this orange color, which is EA570C. I'm using the same orange color for the beak. Pro tip, save these to your palette by long pressing each color swatch so you can access them instantly throughout the project. Here's my workflow for coloring animation efficiently in Procreate Dreams. Create a new layer below all your wing layers. Call it the body color base. This way, the color sits perfectly under your line work. Select your yellow color that we saved previously. Fill in your shape. Now do the same for the beak. Here's the key. Keep each color element on separate layers. Body on one layer, beak on another, eye on another. This gives you total flexibility to adjust colors later without redoing everything. Watch how quickly this comes together when you organize properly. Now we're going to color in the wings the same way we did the body. So create a new layer under the wings, and then we'll move the timeline over to where the wings are at. Go into drawing mode. We got our yellow color here. Now let's just fill in the wings. If you can't see because of the body, what you can do is you can uncheck the box for the yellow color, and then you can see to color in your wing. If you go outside the line like I did, you can just kind of clean that up. All right, our back wing. Now you need to be careful on the back one because we want to maintain that body line right there. And if we color over it, it's gonna do that. So what you need to do is you need to be careful when you get to that spot. So I just do this upper part pretty quickly, and then this bottom part, I turn my brush size down maybe to 8% or so, and then I'm able to maintain that black line that was there previously. So about like that. All right, you can do that with each frame. So there was our first where our wings were up, and I can see a part I've missed here. Here we go. Okay, so move over to the next frame, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna fill in that yellow part, and then move over to the next frame. Just keep doing the same process. And one more frame, and then we're all done. Now let's make those wings more dynamic with gradients. So I'm going to show you a little trick that a lot of people don't know about. If you go into drawing mode, you'll get this menu up here, which is kind of just like it is in Procreate, but doesn't have the same options as we do over there. But one option that they do have is if you click this little layer button right there, now you get our drawing layers above. Now we can create as many layers as we need to alter these colors right here. So if I wanted to add a gradient to this yellow part on the body, we could add a layer on top of it. And then if we click on it, we can set it to clipping mask. And now what we draw here, just like in Procreate, will only go on the yellow part. So now I can click my orange color and then maybe choose a soft brush in the airbrushing section. See, I got my brush size set to about 11. And then I can just put a little gradient on the tail here. And then we can do the same thing with the wings. So if we go up here to our wings, click on a layer, click on plus, and then we want to set it to clipping mask, and now we can set a orangish gradient to the wings also. Alright, and then you can do that for each layer. So this gradient also helps show wing movement. It adds incredible depth and makes the wings look more realistic. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing to put the final icing on this cake. So what we're going to do is we're going to create us a new track. We're going to put it on the very bottom. We're going to go into drawing mode, and we're going to pick a sky color. Maybe that one right there. So I'm going to go in the painting section and click around brush and just make it quite large. And I'm just going to color in blue on our stage. Now actually, I want this even bigger. So I'm going to color this way out here. Maybe we'll go this way too some. Just going to make sure that it covers the entire stage. Maybe even make it larger. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this out to the full length of our animation. So if we play that now, it's going to be flying over a blue background. Alright, the next thing I want to do is click on white and then go to, so in elements, the cloud brush, set for white. I've got my brush quite big, about 68%, and we're just going to draw some clouds in here. Just make them random, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our timeline here. We're going to click on it. We're going to hit move and move and scale. And then we want it to start over here. And then we're going to take it all the way to the end over here. We're going to click on it again. And then we're going to move this all the way over to this other side. And what that does is it creates motion when he's flying. And there you have it, a fully animated and colored flying bird in Procreate Dreams using just 5 frames. To export, tap on the title, click on the share button, and then video. If you found this tutorial helpful, drop a like and let me know in the comments what animal you want to see animated next. Don't forget to subscribe for more Procreate Dreams tutorials. Now, go create something amazing.